of the Saturday's attack. Let me bring in David Kahari. He is one of the men who managed to get out of that attack alive. Thank you so much for joining us on KTN Prime.
Thank you.
First of all, you were at the Westgate Mall. So what happened? How did you know there's a problem?
Well, we were having a business coffee meeting with one of my clients, and literally, almost without warning, we just had some screeching of car stopping and bullets flying. Unfortunately, in the process of that, my client got shot in the back. But then there was someone in the Art Cafe terrace, because that's where we're having our coffee, just adjacent to the Westgate entrance. Someone shouted and said, "Everybody lie down, stay down."
Do you have any idea who that was?
I have absolutely no idea, but whoever he is, I think he really saved people's lives, because that instruction by itself at least mobilized people to try and crouch and keep and stay down. Unfortunately, just kind of looking back, one of the guys came up and one of the shooters came up, and he was crouching almost next to the rail, trying to get like a low shot, but for some reason he seemed to he just let off a few bars and then walked right back in. So some of us, literally we were staying flat on the ground, waiting to see what will happen. We had absolutely no idea what was going on.
So you're on the ground, your client has been shot. What was going through your mind?
At that point in time, I think I was just trying to make up in my mind exactly what is happening, because the initial thought was immediately was that this is a cops and robbers kind of scenario, and these are probably stray bullets. But it was such an organized kind of shooting, because they were shooting in bursts, in a wave. So they shoot one round, one sweep, then they sweep it back all across the terrace, and you can tell from the breaking glass the way the bullets are going. At that point, it was just a question of just trying to see how can I get out of here. Yeah. So
you have one man trying to shoot all over, and of course all of you are lying down. Someone is telling all of you to stay down, keep your heads down. What happened next?
Well, when I glanced backwards and I saw the gentleman coming crouching with his gun, I figured this is probably not the safest place for me to be, and I decided to start crawling away. So I crawled over someone. I don't know whether he was dead or not, but he wasn't moving. So I crawled over him and tried to get to the exit as quickly as possible. Yeah.
What exit are we talking about? Because you're
I'm familiar with the building, because as an architect I was actually involved in the design and the construction of the building.
So you knew the several ways.
So I knew several ways out of the building, and I knew there's a fire escape staircase, and there's a small gap in the railing which allows you to get onto the road that comes out from the basement parking. One thing is that most people who are on the terrace actually ran back straight into Art Cafe and into the shopping arcade, and unfortunately I'm very sure they must have met head-on with the terrorists coming in from that side. But so I hid in the fire escape staircase for another 15 minutes, because at some point one of the terrorists actually came back in and fired a few shots into Art Cafe. There was quite a bit of screaming and tables turning and glass breaking. 15 minutes after that, I figured it wasn't very safe to actually be in the fire escape staircase.
Okay,
and
just hold on. You stayed hidden for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
In those 15 minutes, what were you doing? Did you try to contact your family? Did you try to get help? What were you doing in the 15 minutes?
I wasn't able to even pick a call or make a call for that matter, because there was so much happening. The shooting was going on everywhere. There was so much screaming. We did not know, or at least I did not know, who was shooting, where they were coming from, or whether they'd actually come and find us there. Actually, one of the suggestions was we should be climbing up the fire escape into the upper floors. But then that didn't make much sense, because we didn't know where they were in the building. But you could hear a lot of shooting and screaming and glass breaking. So at that point in time, there was no time to think about calling anybody. It was more a question of, okay, I know I'm here, but I felt trapped. I felt I'm not safe here, because this is an end, a dead zone, and it's a kind of thing where if someone actually came and found us there, we'd be finished. I actually thought I would be safer on the road.
So 15 minutes, you've been hiding. What happened?
After 15 minutes, we kept on peeping out of the staircase, out of the fire escape staircase, trying to understand exactly where the danger was coming from. it became a bit difficult because you could also see some people, you could see dead bodies on the terrace. People were running out of the basement, some of them badly hurt, bleeding and dragging their legs. There's a gentleman who was badly shot up and is dragging his legs. And the security guards also, they'd locked themselves up in the guardhouse. And we kept on motioning to them, what's going on? And they kept on telling us, just wait. At some point, I think we just figured out, no, this can't continue. I think I'm better off getting out in the open where I have a chance of running away rather than sitting here, because it was so unpredictable.
So you get out in the open, you start running around. Were you thinking maybe these guys may be out here, they will shoot at us?
Yes, yes, definitely. So I ran out onto the road and ducked into Peponi Plaza, which is just next door, and took a breather there, trying to figure out what is happening. By then, I think also a crowd had started forming. Unfortunately, as usual, people ran towards danger.
Yes.
And it was one of those things of, guys, why are you coming here? And well, from there, just hung around there waiting.
Did you said that when you're sitting with your friend, you had the screeching of a car and you started hearing the shooting outside. Did you at any point get to see who came out of those cars?
Very vaguely. Because we were actually having a discussion. So my focus was really on the discussion we were having. But through the corner of my eye, you could just see some kind of blurry motion of, because the vehicle turned and kind of blocked the road, and there was a sound of doors opening suddenly, and then there was, a lot happened in microseconds per se, simultaneously, and the shooting started, and you could see the muzzle flashes from the guns. But literally, the very first few bullets, I think, must have been aimed at that cafe for some reason. Yeah, so we didn't even have a chance to look and stare. It was more a question of, those are gunshots, better lie down, and then try and get away from the source of the gunshots.
There were reports that they threw some grenades around. Were you there when that happened?
Oh, yes, definitely. Because even as you were lying down, there were massive explosions, and you could feel the floor shaking. There was a lot, and I don't know, it must have been some seriously powerful grenades, because the floor was shaking, and I don't know where they were throwing them, but you could feel the floor shaking. Yeah. So
you've gotten out, you think you're safe. After how long did help come, and who was the first person to come in to help?
Well, the first help, I think, came after about an hour. And honestly, these were some Caucasian, some white gentlemen, who seemed very professional. The taxi guys told me those are Israelis. I have no idea.
You have no idea.
I don't know who they are.
If you were to describe the whole attack, and of course you're out, you're alive, you're safe, we thank God, how would you describe it?
I'd say it's a terrible thing. It's something which I would never wish to happen on anybody else. I have a lot of feeling for the young children and the families that lost their loved ones there. But it's a terrible thing. It's a heinous, despicable act. And I hope to God that there is a special place where those terrorists will go for a special form of punishment.
David Kahari, thank you for sharing your story with KTN Prime. And of course, I am so sorry you lost your friend. Of course, just like very many Kenyans who also lost their friends and their relatives. Thank you for sharing your story.